Welcome to the Hastings Shadmehry Show.
I'm Andee Hastings.
And I'm Mali Shadmehry.
Together, we own Hastings Shadmehry, an Atlanta-based law firm specializing in family law.
This is a space where we talk all things family law and all topics that touch the area of family law, from divorce to custody to self-growth, personal empowerment, and more. We bring you the truth, from our wolf pack to yours. Hello, and welcome to the Hastings Shadmehry Show. I'm Mali Shadmehry.
And I'm Andee Hastings.
And we are so excited to have you with us today. We are talking about a topic that's very near and dear to my and Andee's hearts, and that is wellness. We're going to talk to you about our philosophies, our challenges, and sort of our regimen on wellness, mind, body, and spirit. And we're going to talk to you about how you might be able to assess those issues in your life, especially if you're going through something, whether it's litigation, divorce, custody issues, or just anything in your life. And we acknowledge that there's stuff going on in the world, energies surrounding us all the time. Maybe you feel it, we definitely do, where there's just a lot of pressure in society, in the world, a lot of fear, a lot of unknowns. And what can we do to sort of harbor control and power over wellness in ourselves and how that better impacts society? Right, Andee?
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel it every single day. I feel it with clients. I feel it with myself. You know, it's just a struggle right now. And so, you know, I think one of the tricks with that is just being aware of it and keeping it at the front of your awareness all the time. It's the best way to deal with it.
Absolutely. So before we jump in, let's do a check-in. Andee, are you a warrior or a diplomat today?
Definitely a diplomat today.
Okay.
Actually. So we've just had several really high conflict cases come to conclusion recently, and it took being both a warrior and a diplomat simultaneously to bring them to conclusion. And so, you know, in the closing out, wrap-up details for these clients, it requires a lot of diplomacy because it's still a sensitive time. You know, it's hard. You think that you're going through something that is going to, you know, it is the beginning of the next chapter. You are forward facing, you are all the things, but there's still this difficulty, that you face like right when the chapter is closed and the dust is settling. And so definitely feeling like a diplomat. How about you? Or you're a diplomat?
I am a diplomat this week as well. I am seeing a lot of our cases kind of cruise along. They're in hand very nicely, geared towards settlement. Don't have a lot of big trials on the horizon. Do have some things later in the year, but definitely feeling like across the board, my legal teams that I'm overseeing, we're checking the boxes. All of our cases are moving along. We're the wise kind of wisdom in the room is the vibe that I'm feeling, and I'm needing that in my life in general right now. I am 2.5 weeks out from my next bodybuilding competition, and, you know, it's my second time doing this now, and I am much more understanding of my own needs and my own capacity. One of the biggest lessons that I learned the last time around was I'm not always going to be capable of going at the extreme intensity that I typically do when my body, my mind, my spirit, we're spread a little thin right now. And so I'm having to be very careful about my time. I've got a lot going on outside of work that I'm having to take care of, all great things. But I also am prioritizing rest a lot right now as though it's part of my job. And it has been a big adjustment. And it has, you know, that can trigger fear in people that are used to going and going and going. So it's taking a diplomatic mindset right now, and also having to be patient, wait for this 2.5 weeks to pass. You know, I'm hungry, I'm tired, and I'm excited. You want to go. There's that level of anticipation, and you have to be able to be patient and set yourself up to go and thrive in whatever that event is coming up. So I'm a little chomping at the bit and ready to go, but need to keep pacing myself. So diplomat she is right now.
It's funny that you say that, because I feel like the way that you prepare in the lead up to these competitions, and I say it plural because it's your second one, but is very much like we prepare the lead up to trial.
It totally is.
You know, you have to be just very methodical. You have to, one foot in front of the other, look at the long game, but also be very present in the moment.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's a lot of what you go through in the preparation for the competitions as well.
Totally. And both myself as a trial attorney, business person, and a bodybuilder, all three of those components make me stronger in all regards because you're right. I do learn about different processes in anxiety, stress, performance, pressure, different pressure in all regards. But at the end of the day, it's my performance that matters, and preparation and lead up to things like that, and to be able to perform, it takes knowledge of yourself and of wellness. And in order to perform at your highest and really to enjoy the life experience as a human being, you have got to be able to tap into wellness and what it is that you need. So let's get into it. I'm going to start and sort of outline my wellness regimen and how I got here and why it's been so important for me. And then we'll get into yours.
Okay.
Then we'll talk to you guys about some pointers about taking some first steps to start getting your wellness routine tweaked. So for me, I was a workaholic. I mean, work was my identity, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It helped mold me as a woman and as a lawyer. So for my first 7 years of practice, I pretty much had blinders on. And I was with you for a good part of that. And it didn't start until about 3 years ago when we really formed Hastings Shadmehry that I realized there was a huge component missing in my life and honestly, thank God it was for us and for building this firm that I was able to tap into the need to develop myself more as a leader, as a woman, as a human. I wasn't thinking about it in terms of let me make more space for myself so I can enjoy life more. I was thinking about it in terms of let me make myself a better person so I can connect better with people in the office. I can lead more efficiently. Now I'm not the one trying all the cases. I am supporting the ones trying the cases. And it took a different level of self-knowledge, and leadership is difficult. So I started going to therapy, and I believe that everyone should have a therapeutic regimen in their life, even if it's not every week. I think therapy is underutilized, and in different generations, I think it can have a negative connotation to it. But I started therapy, going to an excellent therapist. I started going weekly, and then I backed off. So it's still part of my regimen. And I go for tune-ups, and that's something I think that should be talked about. In different times in your life, you need therapy more times than others. And so it's nice to have someone that you can go to during times of need. Right now, I need you once a week. I'm working through something really hard. I need that dedicated space to start letting it capitulate, have a place to put that stuff. And as things ease up, you can go less, and you go for a tune-up. My favorite sort of cadence on therapy is going every other week, even if I feel like I don't have something specific to talk about. It's a nice time when you're really busy to have some place and someone to talk to just put the thoughts and the stream of consciousness. So started with that. And Andee and I started working with a business therapist as well. And we still remain on an every other week regimen with her, where it gives Andee and I an opportunity as business partners and friends to work on our relationship, but also we work on all kinds of things. If we're struggling with someone in the office or a certain issue in the office, we work through that. So it started with therapy. I also began coming into my spirituality and doing things such as ketamine therapy. I'm a big proponent of that. It's done legally and through a clinic, and I have had my bouts with that, which really helped enlighten me and helped me get in touch with myself again. I started to be able to see who I really was, and I felt that I had lost that since childhood. I felt in the past few years, I finally was able to feel my own self again for the first time since childhood. And that came from giving myself time and space to explore myself. Religion plays a part in that as well. I am religious and kind of tapped back into that, started doing online church. I don't go in person as much, but I love the unity. And I enjoyed kind of carving that out into my life. So I sort of was checking buckets, the mind bucket with therapy. I had a balanced place to start analyzing and get professional help. And then spiritually, making space for myself, and that fed into the body as well. And for me, it's those three buckets: mind, body, and spirit equals wellness. And the body, it's different for everybody. For me, I've always been someone that loves to work out. I was a marathon runner, and I started bodybuilding about 3 years ago as well. So all these things came at the perfect time, and that's just what works for me. But in general, I think a good wellness package that I had been missing was just a little more movement, just getting walk outside, getting the vitamin D. One of my favorite ways to start my day is walking my dogs for 20 minutes in the sunlight. We're in an office all day. We're packed away. Your body, we're animals. We need the basic nutrients that even the sunlight can provide to us. So I do think that having a solid morning routine is crucial, especially for high performers. I chug a huge bucket of water before I have any caffeine in me, anything like that. I take a walk with the dogs, and then I'm in. And sometimes I journal in the mornings or pull tarot cards. I love tarot cards to really center myself, and I feel like those things help. And then, so yeah, my body sort of, I definitely fixated on that. That's been my escape and my place to get myself right. And it did transform into bodybuilding. But the hardest thing, I think, in developing a wellness routine is getting there. It's very overwhelming at first. You know the things you want to fix, and you make up in your mind all these elaborate ways that you think you're going to need to go to have to get there. And in reality, it's about making one small change gradually and sticking to it. It's about slow changes and consistency, and not beating yourself up if you don't check every box every day. And so for me, the overall mentality is this. I've designed my life into different buckets: mind, body, spirit. Then you've got finance, you've got relationships, you've got work. You cannot, as a human being, fill every one of those buckets to the top every single day. You're not going to do it. And by forcing yourself to have that mentality, that perfectionist mentality, you're really setting yourself up to lose. In the brain, it matters what we're processing. If you're feeling like it's a loss every day, you continue down this negative sort of, whatever that word is, roller coaster. Whereas if you can focus on the positive, your mind is going to continue to look out for the positive. And
it rewires your brain.
It totally does. And it's about those small things every day. So I have gotten better at planning, and I have in my planner, how are you going to fill these buckets? And every given week, some buckets are more filled than others. Sometimes the spiritual bucket is really full, but maybe that financial bucket is lower. I haven't done, a review of my credit cards and want to pay those down or whatever it is. Sometimes you're going to have to balance, and you can't feel bad about that. But it's about being cognizant of your needs and developing the strategy to get there. And maybe your strategy is you need a lot more spiritual time and relaxation than you do the body. So there is no one right recipe. But what I have found is that I started not only accomplishing better and better results with work, I found I'm much more efficient. If I do take a step back and take care of myself, I can still, and I was very fearful of that at first. I went through bouts of serious depression and just blackout weeks of my life where I felt like I didn't even have a purpose anymore because I was focusing on myself rather than work, and it felt wrong. And then I started to find my identity, and that identity kind of melted into who I already was as a lawyer too. And I was able to combine that workaholic with a more balanced version of myself, and now teach other lawyers how to do that so they can be sustainable and not be unhealthy. So I found that I became a more efficient professional, happier, healthier individual, have like a gusto for life and new experiences, new friends. And that's been, I think, the biggest piece for me, is through finding balance and wellness and prioritizing myself, I have attracted different people in my life and have a new network and new people that mean a lot to me that are on the ride with me. And then when you do that, you've now hit the jackpot, because what you have is not only a stable process and philosophy for your life and yourself, but now you've got a network of people who are rowing in the same direction at the same rate of speed, because they have now met you where you're at this level that you've worked hard to build to. And it does sometimes mean you lose certain people in your life too. And that's okay, that they're not evolving with you. My family, friends, my new relationships, my boyfriend, all of these things, they have all risen to meet me where I'm at. And that means the world to me. And so I'm better in relationships as well, a more understanding individual. And so that's my journey. Today, what it looks like is, right now I am bodybuilding, I'm competing. So, that is a hobby and it is so fun. It's the human experience. It gives me that sparkle back. Everybody needs that. I don't care if it's you're knitting on your sofa and that makes you so happy, or it's bath time every night, whatever it is that gives you the glitter in your life, the sparkle, whether you're a man, woman, or however you identify, you need the sparkle. And you just can't get it unless you have a wellness regimen, and we should all be treating our self-wellness as part of our job if you really want to succeed, and more importantly, if you really want to enjoy your human experience during your time on this planet. So I want to hear about Andee Hastings' journey and where she's at, because she is also grinding right by my side, building her own regimen, and hers is unique, different from mine. So let's hear about it. Let's hear about you.
I'm so bad at talking about myself. So that's its own challenge here right now. It's funny. I'm sitting here listening to you, and I'm reminded of so many things that I think of on the daily that, one of the gifts for me, honestly, is being around you, because you are so much more evolved in this than I am. And as much as it pains me to admit it, I'm a little bit older than Mali.
She doesn't look it.
No, I'm actually, by little, I mean kind of a lot. And so I say
Wait, how old are you?
Today?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 52.
She's 52 and I'm 36. I think we can be vocal about that. And she is the epitome of what I want to be when I'm that age.
Well, I'm in a week. I'm a different age.
Birthday girl, Scorpio girl.
And the reason I say this is because I've always been, like Mali described, just a workaholic. And it's in everything. I'm an all or nothing person.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Yep.
Or I'm out. And it's taken a long time for me to realize that about myself. And what I ended up doing pretty much throughout my life, personally, professionally, whatever, is I'm all in.
Yeah.
And I can't let go of things easily. There's some sort of like anti-quitting thing in my head, which sounds like a positive and can be a positive. It translates to perseverance and ambition and drive and all those things.
Right.
But it can also hold you in spaces
that
you don't belong.
Yeah.
And so,
you become a prisoner.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, that whole being all in, we have different things. We have professionals that surround us, and one of the professionals we have, we've done these things called culture index. And, there's all different kinds of tests that you can take out there that are, they analyze you. And this is one for a business context. But
it's like a Myers-Briggs, kind of like a personality test, but better.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
And this is on my mind because I was just talking about our culture with our culture index person the other day, and also with our business therapist who I wanted to talk to, and I didn't even have a specific thing. I just was like, I probably need to talk to somebody because like
you need
everyone, yes, I'm feeling very, stressed and anxious and all the things right now. So I was talking to both of them separately, and one of the things that they told me about me, and it's so interesting, every day is an opportunity to learn something about yourself that you think you know.
Oh, yeah.
And no. And one of them said, you are built to prevail. And what that means is, that sounds great. It's like a trial lawyer. It's not. It's much more complicated.
Of course I am going to prevail.
But what it translates into is you are like the cockroach of the culture index world, which sounds terrible, but it's actually a compliment.
Yeah.
It's like the cockroaches are going to survive nuclear holocausts. Like and so they're both saying the same thing in very different ways, which is so weird. But it's, you will drive. Like you see a challenge and you're going to overcome it. You're going to see it. You might be stressed out by it. It might make you sad. It might be all the things. But then you just move into action mode, action over, around, through. And it's so funny because I think about myself over the years, but it's part of that workaholic overdrive in every aspect of my life because it's a blessing and a curse. It's the thing that makes me keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And it's a benefit a lot of times to the people around me, certainly clients. And, I do it for everybody in my life.
So
And
how do you take care of yourself?
that's the thing. That's what I'm learning how to do. I've not been great at it. And I've definitely sort of overworked for a very long time. And part of it is I do go to the gym. I am not.
Tell us about that. So first of all, because I know this about Andee is she actually has a therapeutic regimen like I do. She also has a gym regimen. And then you have your personal time. I call it the spiritual bucket. Like, what do you do? And I want to know how you fill those. Like, what is your therapeutic regimen? Because I know we talked about we have a business therapist. We go to her regularly.
Right.
And we have individual sessions with her as we need them too. And who else do you go to?
So I have Kim. She's my acupuncturist. And we talk about things. I see her every other week. And I saw her last night, as a matter of fact. And she's just amazing. And she kind of tunes me in. She's taught me so much about myself over the years. I've been going to her for years. And it's so helpful on so many levels. Like, for instance, right now, like a few weeks ago, we just had the fall solstice. So we're moving into the time where your body, the universe, nature is going into a rest phase. So if you're feeling more tired and all of these things, there's a reason for that.
Right.
Literally
the circadian
everything.
rhythm. Our bodies are so in tune with the earth, the moon, the lunar cycle, the ocean waves and the energies and all the things. It's real. It is.
It really is.
Believe it or not. So y'all got to talk through that.
We did. And we talk about stuff like that all the time.
I think it's so important to have those sort of like spiritual and mental guides, whether that's through a church, a friendship, or a professional that you're paying. So you've got that. Tell us about what is your workout regimen and sort of wellness regimen and things you do to help you there, even food.
So I have a chef that makes food for us every week. It's not every meal, but it's several meals. And she takes into account certain health things that we want to be careful about and, ingredients and that sort of thing. And it's such a gift because, you just got somebody kind of in there taking care of you when, the default might be to cheat or not take care of yourself.
Well, and I have a comment there. So, because I am a meal prepper, I cook all my food, but I would like to move towards having someone do it for me. And I acknowledge that sounds, hoity-toity, or it could, or whatever. But you also have to realize this. People are balancing different responsibilities in their lives. And the things that I have on my plate and where I want to prioritize my time and my efforts means I might need to hire help. And I want to open up that sort of comfort level with our audience, is that it is okay. And it is a financial, investment. And not everybody's going to have that. But there is something to it about manifestation and building and knowing what your needs are and building something to get there eventually.
Right.
And if that means you need a chef or someone to clean your house, whatever it is, that there are studies on this that the most highly successful people know what to offload and what not to. And things like cooking and I have a house cleaner and someone that does my laundry, and that means everything to me, not because I don't want to do it, but it's because I know that my energy has to go other places in order to keep things working. I don't have the space.
Right.
And I love that you do that. Another thing that Andee and I both do, we have a supplementation routine. We use all kinds of different products. Peptides are an amazing new thing that, are up and coming. And so we would be dishonest if we didn't at least note that as well. Andee and I have beauty routines, and as women and men, however you identify, you're allowed to do that. That's part of this conversation. If you
Absolutely.
feel like you're put together, your whole life is going to flow a little bit better. So you have a chef to assist with food, and you're getting a good amount of protein and
Yes.
balanced diets and
Yes.
still eating out and enjoying the fun things as well.
Absolutely.
And then what about gym routine for you?
So I have a trainer, and we go 3 times a week.
And you go with your husband,
Yes.
which I love. I love that you guys do that together, and it's a wellness routine that you can both hold each other accountable for.
It really works for us when we've done well with exercise routines. It works best if we're doing it together. We hold each other accountable. One of us may want to not go one day, but we kind of nudge each other along. So yes, we see Maddie, who is fabulous. We see her 3 times a week, then just try to get movement outside of that. Like you said, it's just important to keep moving. And given some of my personal experiences lately with my family, that has really punched me in the face as a reminder of how critically important that is. And I'm one of those people, unless I have it all planned out when it comes to stuff for myself, I have a hard time taking one small step.
Yes.
And that's something that Mali coaches me through all the time, because I want to figure out, okay, well, I'm going to do it 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it for 45 minutes at a time. And this is what it's going to look like. And here are all my outfits that I'm going to wear for it. And I'm ready. And it's just ridiculous.
Right.
And it comes down to, you take one small step. And Kim, my acupuncturist, has always encouraged me to do that too. She's like, do 1 day a week, 10 minutes.
Right.
And then build.
It really is similar to learning how to be a lawyer, or maybe learning how to be anything else in your life, taking on big challenges. Is like once you master the thing, or at least have enough experience, it does become easier over time.
It does.
And you just have to give yourself time to get there, because then you get to a place where you are balancing all of the things you've wanted to, and you may have to tweak that when you have a vacation coming up or a busy work week, and you'll find over time that you can easily bounce back into the good habits as long as you have a good foundation.
Absolutely.
So what about outside of what you do for your mind, your body? What about the spirit, the glitter? What is life like for Andee? How do you rejuvenate yourself?
So it kind of depends. I tend to go in waves of things that kind of rejuvenate my spirit, and sometimes I'm very introspective, and so I read a lot, and I'm talking about spirit, not just in like a religious spiritual way. I'm
just a sense of self. Yeah,
and it. Sometimes I paint. Sometimes,
color. You like to color?
I do like to.
I love to color too. We both like our artsy fartsy things. I mean, even just spending time together rejuvenates me too. And like our fun phone calls we have every day, it's those small moments.
Yes.
And you are a dog mom. You go up to your cabin, and you're a big reader as well, and a nap girly. We both are.
Yes.
We have totally been on like vacations and things together, girls' weekends, and Andee and I will just be like, let's turn a movie on and take a nap. And we have. It's part of our recovery. It's the simple things.
And don't discount the, rejuvenative power of those small things. I mean, I find that I don't make time for, to sit down and just watch a movie.
Same.
And
hard to turn your brain off.
Very hard. And I'm really bad at it.
I read something the other day that said, if you have a hard time resting for 20 minutes, you need at least 2 hours to rest.
Oh.
And that really hit home with me, because I'm one of those that I do struggle to sit down and watch a movie, and I want to go do. So okay, let me ask you this. How do you think all this work on yourself and developing your routine to be well, how do you think that has affected you as a leader?
Oh, I definitely think that it has helped, because, leadership is hard. And, I was raised by someone who was an officer in the military. And, so I watched kind of these struggles from afar, didn't really understand it. and it's helped me over time now that I live it. But you can show up better as a leader when you are more rested and fulfilled and balanced, and because when you're leading other people in whatever scenario, you have to help hold them up and lift them up and support them in ways that they don't necessarily even realize, and sometimes you don't even realize. And to do that, you have to fill your cup first. So you
Agreed.
can't pour from an empty cup, as they say.
For me, all of my self-growth and taking care of myself, my wellness routine has impacted myself as a leader in that first of all, you are who you surround yourself with. So if I expect my employees and even my clients to come to the table and be productive individuals, respectful individuals, I have to be that myself. And I know that whatever room I'm walking into, I'm sharing my energy with that room. And it is on me to ensure that I'm being responsible, that I'm bringing my best self. And that used to really intimidate me. I'm not intimidated by a courtroom, not intimidated by a big stage in a bikini to bodybuild, but I was intimidated by vulnerability and the relationship building component of life and of leadership and business. And in order to get there, I had to really know myself. So I think that my self-growth has allowed me to be the person that I would want to work with. And then there's definitely sort of more easily definable outcomes, such as I'm a better listener. I'm calmer because I'm fulfilled. I am very invested in the moment when I'm with my people. And of course, there's days where I'm spread very thin, but I've learned how to slow down and focus my time and energy on the things that matter, that move the needle the most. And that's a skill that we just keep honing over time. So we want to leave you guys with sort of an outline-ish of things to think about. This is for you guys who are struggling, you're in pain, you're ready to make some changes. You could be going through a divorce. You could be going through some other kind of litigation. You could just be having a moment in your life. That's okay. Even those of us that have wellness routines built up, I promise you, we have days where it feels like that work hasn't been done. I mean, a week before my last bodybuilding competition, I was crying, saying, I'm canceling this whole thing. I can't do it. Because the mind and the body, they play tricks on you. So that's okay. But it's just about having a plan and going slowly into it. So here are our recommendations and just sort of a little primer for you to sort of get things going. And if you're interested in more advice on this, more conversation on it, come talk to us. We talk to our clients about all of this stuff, depending on what their needs are, all the time. Feel free to send us a message on our socials. Tell us what you'd like to hear about. We'd love to talk to you and hear about what you struggle with. But for starters, here's what you need. You need to design what are your buckets. What are the buckets in your life you need to fill? It doesn't have to be what we say. It doesn't have to be mind, body, spirit, budget, relationships, work. What are the priorities in your life? And then you need to design what are the steps you think you need to take to get there, and you need to start taking small steps and pace yourself and be nice to yourself. Do not set goals that are unattainable. You set goals that are very short term and easy. You need to start with wins. You need to stack some easy wins for yourself. I do think mind, body, and spirit have to be on your list. Go walk a little bit more. Do the things to honor your body just a little bit. Even if it's once a week, that's better than not doing it all. If you hit your one time that week, that's an A+. Then you gradually increase your requirements over time. Okay, now I've done one walk a week for 3 weeks. I'm going to go to 2. And if you say, I want to do 3 walks a week and you only hit 1, fine. Now you know how to reassess. Don't beat yourself up. Something physical. Just start to build yourself up. Look at your diet. Talk to someone. At least do an initial consultation with someone. See what you could do to improve there. Spirit. Start making time for yourself. Make the actual time on your calendar. If it's relationships, start to treat that as serious as you do about your jobs. Those of you that are going through litigation and you're in the middle of a divorce, you're in the middle of a death in your life, in your family, you're going through a breakup, whatever it is, you're going through a friend breakup, that can be just as stressful, a business breakup, all of these things, it's hard. Those of you really going through it, you're going to go to your fundamentals. You're going to go outside once a day and get 5 minutes of sunlight. You're going to get enough sleep. You're going to get some bodily movement in. Make the time for yourself. That's the best advice I can give. Start now. It is the best time, is right now. The longer you wait, the more you continue the pattern of sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure, of negativity. You've got to dig out of it. And the best way to do it, one step at a time, and just be patient with me. And I promise you will start to evolve. You will start to attract different people who will support you on that journey, just like Andee and I have. It has even impacted the types of employees we bring in this office now. We're a totally different atmosphere than we were 3 years ago, and it started with me and Andee. And so I'm telling you that as an example to hopefully give you some hope, get you in here with the wolf pack. We can be a support for you if you need it, but you have to take that just as seriously if you're going through it. Part of your healing and how to get you to the next phase is to put yourself first.
Absolutely. And never underestimate the power of a support network.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, this is basically what Mali just said, but I'm saying this to myself as well as to anyone else, which is don't do the thing where you keep thinking, oh, well, in 2 weeks, I'll be able to start doing that in 2 weeks because I just have to get through the next 2 weeks because 2 weeks goes and the next thing is in front of you. And then it's a month and then it's, well, okay, if I can just get through the end of the year, then after the beginning of the year, I'll be able to do X, Y, and Z, insert, caretaking ritual here. Mm-hmm. And it just keeps going. And as somebody who did that for years, listen to Mali because she is 100% right. If it's, if the most that you can do for your health is you drink 8 ounces of water in the morning before you consume 1 bite of anything, that is actually huge.
So it's about those small wins, and it is about front loading your wins from a daily perspective and what Andee's saying. Don't put things off. And one of my favorite sayings is how you do anything is how you do everything. It is. You can't treat certain things in your life as more or less important than the other ones, to be honest, because how you do anything is how you do everything. That sort of I'll put it off mentality is going to seep into your life in every single way. And be ready, because growth can bring divorce. It can bring you leaving certain people behind, but the ones that matter are going to be on that ride with you. That's one of the biggest lessons I've learned. So Andee, let's show them our wolf rings. Let's give them a fist. So we're sharing our power with you. That's a little pound it to you guys. We are going to sign off, and we're here for you. We're excited to see other people's journeys, and we thank you for sharing this time with us, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Hello, Mali Shadmehry and Andee Hastings here. We have some exciting news. Coming at you, February 20th, 2026, the Hastings Shadmehry Show will officially transform into the forward-facing podcast.
We're evolving and we're bringing you along with us. We're going to continue to talk about family law, considering we've got about 100 years of combined legal experience in this office with our attorneys, but we're evolving into other issues and topics that we think that you will really enjoy. We're going to talk about leadership, mindset, wellness, our wolf pack, and other perspectives on issues that arise every single day. And we can't wait for you to join us. The Hastings Shadmehry Show is a production of Hastings Shadmehry Family Law and 1066 Productions. It is produced and edited by Ned Hastings.